Hi, this is Liz Haddock from Social Work Exam Strategies, and today we are going to review the National Association of Social Workers Code of Ethics. Listen to the recording anytime, anywhere.
The Code of Ethics will be presented in 7 videos. This is video 3 out of 7. Let's review Ethical Standard Number 2, Social Workers' Ethical Responsibilities to Colleagues.
Starting with Code 2.01, Respect. A. Social workers should treat colleagues with respect and should represent accurately and fairly the qualifications, views, and obligations of colleagues. B. Social workers should avoid unwarranted negative criticism of colleagues in verbal, written, and electronic communications with clients or with other professionals. Unwarranted negative criticism may include demeaning comments that refer to colleagues' level of competence or to individuals' attributes such as race, ethnicity, national origin, color, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, age, marital status, political belief, religion, immigration status, and mental or physical ability. C. Social workers should cooperate with social work colleagues and with colleagues of other professions when such cooperation serves the well-being of clients. Next, we will review Code 2.02. Confidentiality. Social workers should respect confidential information shared by colleagues in the course of their professional relationships and transactions. Social workers should ensure that such colleagues understand social workers' obligation to respect confidentiality and any exceptions related to it. Next, Code 2.03. Interdisciplinary collaboration. A. Social workers who are members of an interdisciplinary team should participate in and contribute to decisions that affect the well-being of clients by drawing on the perspectives, values, and experiences of the social work profession. Professional and ethical obligations of the interdisciplinary team as a whole and of its individual members should be clearly established. B. Social workers for whom a team decision raises ethical concerns should attempt to resolve the disagreement through appropriate channels. If the disagreement cannot be resolved, social workers should pursue other avenues to address their concerns consistent with client well-being. Next, we will review Code 2.04, Disputes involving colleagues. A. Social workers should not take advantage of a dispute between a colleague and an employer to obtain a position or otherwise advance the social worker's own interests. B. Social workers should not exploit clients in disputes with colleagues or engage clients in any inappropriate discussion of conflicts between social workers and their colleagues. Code 2.05. Consultation. A. Social workers should seek the advice and counsel of colleagues whenever such consultation is in the best interests of clients. B. Social workers should keep themselves informed about colleagues' areas of expertise and competencies. Social workers should seek consultation only from colleagues who have demonstrated knowledge, expertise, and competence related to the subject of the consultation. C. When consulting with colleagues about clients, social workers should disclose the least amount of information necessary to achieve the purposes of the consultation. Next, we will review Code 2.06. Sexual relationships. A. Social workers who function as supervisors or educators should not engage in sexual activities or contact, including verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact, with supervisees, students, trainees, or other colleagues over whom they exercise professional authority. B. Social workers should avoid engaging in sexual relationships with colleagues when there is potential for a conflict of interest. Social workers who become involved in or anticipate becoming involved in a sexual relationship with a colleague have a duty to transfer professional responsibilities when necessary to avoid a conflict of interest. Code 2.07. Sexual harassment social workers should not sexually harass supervisees, students, trainees, or colleagues. Sexual harassment includes sexual advances, sexual solicitation, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact of a sexual nature. Code 2.08 Impairment of colleagues. A. Social workers who have direct knowledge of a social work colleague's impairment that is due to personal problems, psychosocial distress, substance abuse, or mental health difficulties, and that interferes with practice effectiveness, should consult with that colleague when feasible and assist the colleague in taking remedial action. B. Social workers who believe that a social work colleague's impairment interferes with practice effectiveness and that the colleague has not taken adequate steps to address the impairment should take action through appropriate channels established by employers, agencies, NASW, licensing and regulatory bodies, and other professional organizations. Code 2.09 Incompetence of colleagues. A. Social workers who have direct knowledge of a social work colleague's incompetence should consult with that colleague when feasible and assist the colleague in taking remedial action. B. Social workers who believe that a social work colleague is incompetent and has not taken adequate steps to address the incompetence should take action through appropriate channels established by employers, agencies, NASW, licensing and regulatory bodies, and other professional organizations. Next, we will review Code 2.10 Unethical Conduct of Colleagues. A. Social workers should take adequate measures to discourage, prevent, expose, and correct the unethical conduct of colleagues, including unethical conduct using technology. B. Social workers should be knowledgeable about established policies and procedures for handling concerns about colleagues' unethical behavior. Social workers should be familiar with national, state, and local procedures for handling ethics complaints. These include policies and procedures created by National Association of Social Workers, licensing and regulatory bodies, employers, agencies, and other professional organizations. C. Social workers who believe that a colleague has acted unethically should seek resolution by discussing their concerns with the colleague when feasible and when such discussion is likely to be productive. D. When necessary, social workers who believe that a colleague has acted unethically should take action through appropriate formal channels, such as contacting a state licensing board or regulatory body, the National Association of Social Workers, National Ethics Committee, or other professional ethics committees. E. Social workers should defend and assist colleagues who are unjustly charged with unethical conduct.
We have completed the review of Ethical Standard Number 2, Social Workers' Ethical Responsibility to Colleagues. This video is the third in a series of 7. In the next video, we will be discussing social workers' ethical responsibility in practice settings.